Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Today I'm here to show you my October bullet journal spread and also all of the materials that I used to make it. The theme is sort of moon magic, witch, October. I am in absolute love with the spread. I think this is my peak. Everything from here on now is going to be downhill, so you have been warned. But as always, I hope you grab yourself a cup of tea and see this video as an opportunity to just relax and take a breath, and I hope you enjoy. So before we start, I also want to mention that I have used for the first time ever, I have actually used black paper that I taped in the journal, and I have seen plant-based Bride do this, who is an amazing bullet journal account. I will link her down below, and by the time that I'm posting this, there's also Amanda Rach Lee, which I'm sure you know if you follow bullet journal community. She came up with a moon themed journal as well, so I will link that down below as well if you want to check hers out. But without further ado, let's get into it. I am so excited to show you this. I really hope you guys will like it. I really do, so let's go. As you know, for the most part, I skip the cover pages because I just never see them afterwards. So the first spread that I have is the monthly one. Also, you'll see me running from the ray of sun here constantly. But yeah, I've used the black paper as you see, and I taped it in with the both-sided tape glue thing. I'll show you later. And yeah, I have the October little calendar in the cutout circle shape on the side, which I added some rings so it looks like a little bit like a planet, and a very simple layout on the right side is very straightforward. And then I have a little quote that says "Start to, we're time travelers," which is actually from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which I've never read, but the quote stood out and it was short and so it could fit here, and I thought it was great. So I've used acrylic white paint for the scatter, which I forgot to show you in this little clip, but other things that I used were, of course, this black paper. This is an A5 type of notebook, and I will link everything that I can find down below. Unless I cannot find it somehow, then it won't be linked, but everything else will be. This is the tape that I use. It's sort of like a roller, almost like a, the fixing tape, but it's a glue, so obviously useful. It's a bit gimmicky to use, so normal glue is also fine, but it's just something that I had on hand. Then for the pens, I have a couple of white ones. I will call them differently so you can find which one I meant in the description bar. But this is the original one, so this is the oldest one that I have. It's pretty thick, but it's not always reliable. Jelly rolls, I think they're called, and they come in 3 different thickness. So it's very useful to have if you just want an overall sort of pack. And then I have these 3, they came in a pack. There's a silver, a white, and a gold. These are actually from a Wish of all the places, so I'll try and link them down below as well. They're very thin, and the gold is more of like a silvery gold, but it's very shiny, so that's brilliant. And another trio from Amazon, most recent edition, again comes in all of these, and these seem to be quite good. I really like the white and the silver. The gold is less reflective than the Wish one though. You'll see what I mean later. For the quote, I used this ink pad and the stamp set that comes with all of the letters and numbers and whatnot, and been using for good 4 or 5 months now or something, maybe more, I don't know, but highly recommend if you, as me, cannot be bothered with calligraphy sometimes. Moving on to the next spread, I have my overall tracker. So I have a bunch of trackers there, and I've decided to go by moon phases. Now I do realize I did these invertedly because my brain farted, I don't know. But that's okay, I know what I meant. So the full moon is the one that's fully colored in, and I will, for every bit that I do for my trackers, which hilarious, find no crisp written there because it's a proper addiction now. Not even funny. But yeah, I will circle it in according to the phase above. I did see this on Pinterest. A lot of my inspiration comes from Pinterest, like everybody else's. So if any of the spreads are inspired by that, I will link it down below as well for you to find for the original post, of course. And on the right side, I have my natal chart, which is another new thing that I've never done, is to make a spread that doesn't actually have any functionality, is just for the aesthetics pretty much. And I've carried this as a theme throughout this month. I actually really enjoyed it. I could never do this fully on, because that is why you're not seeing this as a plan with me. It's rather just a flip through, because it took me 5 days, but I was off work and I needed a distraction, and it worked fine, but I took my time with this. Anyway, I have my natal chart, which is your like star alignment when you're born. I basically downloaded the chart from online, because you can just get it for free in many websites, so I printed it, and then I went over with my pen for the outside because it was very thin and not very pronounced, and then I overlaid it with some metallic gel pens, and then I wrote down a lot of the things from all of that to just make it a bit busy. The black pens that I use for everything are Faber-Castell ones. This one is an S, as in small. I used it throughout, and basically anywhere you see black pen, that is the pen that I used. Unless I need more thickness, then I use like an M, but for the majority of time is the S one. Then for this particular spread, again, I used the black sheet for underneath the natal chart for some texture. Then I used the Wish golden pen for overlaying the signs and the lines. White pen from the same set, as well as my letter ink kit, because I wrote natal chart with that. Oh, and included just the tiniest bit of washi tape there on the side, so that too. And I'm actually really excited to use that tracker now, which is what you want, so you can actually stick with it. The next spread is my mood tracker. And I actually went and did the moons correctly here, so hooray for me. I have some colors underneath which are variations of gray, which are gonna be the only colors other than black or a variation of gold in the spreads, because I kept it pretty much up to those colors. And I'm gonna color in regarding of how I feel that day. I might also write a little note regarding the anxiety there. I haven't decided properly yet, but it's pretty straightforward. It's the circular ones I've made before, so I just used the same kind of layout, but included the moons to make it a bit more fancy. And I obviously had to sneak in a little Harry Potter reference in here, so if you see the very middle decoration there is actually Harry's wand, so that's cool. And on the right side I included another spread that does not have any functionality, and that is the palmistry spread. I painted my hand, and I'm not gonna actually tell you how many takes it took for this to happen, but yeah, just scattered some stars to make it again more busy, and a couple of little doodles like the sage there, and I included some washi tape on the corners and some corner decorations. To create this spread, I used my trusted pen. I used the Chankyo white, the original white gel pen, because I wanted the lines to be a bit thicker. And to create the golden color that I wanted, I mixed up these two acrylic metallic paints, because one was too light, the other one was too dark, so I just thought I'll mix it. Then painted my hand and then made a stamp. Of course, my black paper, and also because I wanted the circles to be the same, I used this template and used the circle for the moons because I really wanted them to be even. And then I used some of the same washi tape and also a compass to draw the circles for the tracker, and then I used the pen to go over freehand over those lines that I made with the compass and the pencil. Lastly, these are the pens that I'm using for my mood tracking. They're all Faber-Castell, and we'll link them down below. Okay, to the next spread, which possibly is my favorite, I can't decide. It's my card of the day page. I've done this once before. I'll insert a picture here so how that looks like. But this time I've cut out 2 cards from the black paper and then did a very poor imitation of the Kokarina's rune deck that I got recently, and I'm absolutely obsessed. I just love it to bits, and I wanted to include that, even though it doesn't have to be a rune card that I'm gonna be using every day, but I really like how it turned out, even though it's wonky, but it's my wonky, you know, so it's fine. And then I simply lined every other line in black on the right side just to make it a bit more interesting, and included some, again, really wonky moons and suns. Don't even look at the right one, it haunts my dreams. But this is the card that inspired this, and oh, it's so stunning. I will link her deck as well down below if you want to check it out. It's a piece of art. But yeah, this is gonna be my sort of meditation page because I use the tarot cards as a meditative tool, and I use the wish pens here, and you can see how reflective they are, and love it. So yeah, as I said, the tools I use for this one is the black paper, the Wish golden pen, the normal pen, the brush pen for the lines on the right side, and obviously I don't mention, but I use the tape anywhere that I need to tape anything. A card for reference, and that's it really. And moving on to the very last spread, the first weekly one, we have this. I went for some, I don't know, sky, planet illustrations and some geometric shapes because, you know, that is my jazz. I always love that. And the very corners, I did sort of like a closed eye-ish. Yeah, and I used the other pen, the other golden one, and it didn't actually turn out as shimmery or as reflective because it looked very reflective when it was still wet, but then it dried and it's actually not that reflective, so it's a little bit sad, but it's really fine. And the things I used are obviously some black paper. I actually used the leftovers from the very first monthly spread, then a compass for the circles, the golden pen from this set, and you know, the normal pen, and a ruler. And that's everything really. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the flip through and what I used for each spread. Let me know which spread was your favorite. I really like it. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but I think this is going to be my peak. It literally is probably going to be downhill from now on. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to using these very soon. If you decide to do something similar, please let me know and tag me. I would love to see it. Yeah, I hope you guys are well. I cannot wait to start posting regularly again. I miss you all so dearly. Let me know how you are in the comments. Let me know what sort of theme you did if you do bullet journal. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.